everybody? Welcome into the Early Edge, powered as always by SportsLine. I'm the coach, and we are in your feed every single day before 11 a.m., and we do it all in 10 minutes or less, or at least we try to. Coming off another winning day on the show, if you follow us, it pays. 4-2, our guy, the Maestro, he went 2-1 in his player props, M squared. He gave you the Pacers. You talk about value. We gave it to you at plus 4.5 when the show dropped yesterday. By the time they tipped, it was minus 1.5, moving 6 points. We tell you all the time, pay attention, follow us on social media. The line moves. It does, but that was huge value yesterday. Don't forget, we have a special UFC 260 episode that's in your feed right now. We taped it yesterday with Ian Parker. So go there, watch that. We have all your best bets, including, for you crazy ones, we got a nice little parlay in there for you as well. Okay, let's bring in our cappers right now. You're hanging on there every word. M squared, good morning. How are you?
Good morning, Coach. A little stormy morning in Nashville, but doing well. Fired up for the Sweet 16 and maybe a little NBA tonight.
This is a Sweet 16 exclusive version of the Early Edge, by the way. And he is right below me, Mr. Zack Cimini, the Zack Attack. What's up, Zack?
Good morning, Coach. The Sweet 16. I cannot wait to see how these games break down today and tomorrow.
We've got picks for all 4 of them. And before you tweet at me, before you say, Coach, where's the Maestro? You all know by now he is off on Saturdays. But we brought 2 of his plays from SportsLine. And they're the other 2 games that our guys are not picking today. Hence, we've got all 4. So let's start right now and do the SportsLine plays of the day. We're starting with Oral Roberts. The Maestro already gave this play out earlier in the week. We're just re-emphasizing it. They're getting 11 against Arkansas. They had a double-digit lead over Arkansas back in December. They ended up losing that game, but they will not be intimidated. They did not go home for these 4 days, so they're not feeling themselves that we made the Sweet 16. They stayed in the bubble. Take Oral Roberts plus the 11. And then the darlings of the tournament. And I cannot believe that they're getting 6.5. And that's the Cuse. The Cuse. The Cuse are on fire. Over Houston, I think they're going to win on the court. The Maestro loves them. The SportsLine model loves them. Can't believe that Vegas doesn't love them more. So take Oral Roberts and the Cuse plus 6.5, courtesy of the Maestro. All right, M squared, you know the drill, son. Give it to me.
All right, we're going to start with what is clearly Chiefs' dog of the day. He is in the ear here. I'm going to be taking Oregon State plus 7 against Loyola Chicago. Loyola Chicago has been very good so far this tournament. Frankly, both of these teams are playing their best basketball of the season right now. We watched Loyola Chicago beat Illinois largely due to Cameron Krutwig and the way that he played down low. What Loyola Chicago has is an advantage. It's more of a contrasting style of play that a lot of teams aren't necessarily ready for. The problem with the Sweet 16 is there's a lot of game film on them very recently, and they have a lot of time to prepare for them. I think Oregon State has the size down low at 7'1", 265, 6'10", 220, 6'10", 240. I think they're going to be able to throw that combination at Krutwig, slow him down just enough to make someone else truly beat them. 7 points here is just simply too many points. In my simulations, I only make this plus 3.9. So we're getting a full 3 points at the current number in the market. I think it's the strongest play on the board today.
The Maestro has your back on this play. He thinks that the 7-point spread is just too high, especially when it's a game, Mikey, that has a total of only 125. Now, we don't have any NBA plays today, but every time, every day, we give you what's going on in the NBA because it matters what players are playing. So real quick, Mikey, what are you looking at today as far as guys that are in, guys that are out, storylines that could affect the betting lines in the NBA?
Yeah, it's a wild one in the NBA. Obviously, following the trade deadline, a lot of the players that were involved in the trades yesterday were not available to play. Only a few were. Some of them will be questionable heading into tonight's games. But some of the other injuries that you really need to know about, Derrick Rose is potentially going to return for the Knicks. Nerlens Noel, Reggie Bullock, both questionable. They're playing the Bucks, who are on the second night of a back-to-back. Now PJ Tucker, who was doubtful or didn't play last night, Bobby Portis is questionable for them. Heading down the list a little bit here, Mike Conley is going to be doubtful for Utah. That's something to take note of. Maybe take a look at some of Jordan Clarkson's player props here at that point. For the Boston Celtics, because they're on the second night of a back-to-back, we know Kemba Walker is doubtful to play there. Evan Fournier, who they just acquired in the trade yesterday, is questionable to play. Keep an eye out on social media. I'll keep that updated later on as well. And then other big news for the Los Angeles Clippers, Kawhi Leonard, Marcus Morris, both questionable. Serge Ibaka already ruled out. Patrick Beverley already ruled out. So they could potentially be very thin tonight in a matchup with the Philadelphia 76ers.
Thank you very much. And don't forget, follow Mikey on social media. I'm guessing, just guessing, because I have a little inside knowledge that he'll be giving out a free NBA play later today once the lines kind of get squared away, so to speak, in the market. Okay, we've given you Oral Roberts. We've given you Oregon State. We've given you the Qs. That leaves one more game. Zack Attack, that game is yours.
And with that game, I'm going to take Baylor -7.5, Coach. I think this line is telling you something here, this high of a line. This is actually just the second time in 8 years that Villanova has been this big of an underdog. And you look at Baylor, their 2-year strong run actually began against Villanova in 2019 when they beat Villanova 87-78 in non-conference play. There are several takeaways from that game that I think will carry over to today. They had just 5 turnovers against Villanova. We know how strong of a defensive team Villanova is. They shot 58% from three-point range, and they got Villanova into foul trouble. One of their key players fouled out. 2 other players had 4 fouls, including Jeremiah Robinson-Earl, who's been plagued by foul trouble this year. And I just think you look at Baylor, they're going to be able to shut down Jay Wright's in-game adjustments. We saw Jay Wright against Winthrop be able to make those adjustments in the second half to pull away. And then against North Texas, they were down 21-13 before they went on that big first half run. We knew sooner or later that the loss of Colin Gillespie was going to come into play. This is it here for me. And I think you look at Villanova, they're probably going to lose in a blowout fashion, probably similar to the way they lost to Purdue in 2019 against Carson Edwards and company.
And that would be great for us here at the show. Okay, we're up against it. We're going to throw in also a little, you guys are always asking us for parlays. So we're going to start the early edge parlay of the day. At least that's what I'm calling it right now. And you look over to the right of your screen. So a little $10 parlay for all 4 of our games, plus 1,200. We're all going to play it. We want you to play it too. That's right. You pick all 4 of our teams today. You'd bring back $125 on $10. Here is our recap. Grab your paper, grab your pencil. M squared, he's on Oregon State, plus the 7. The Beavers have been dynamic. They won the Pac-12 tournament, and then they've backed that up with 2 more wins so far in the NCAA tournament. Zack Attack, he's on Baylor -7.5 over Villanova. And then our SportsLine and Maestro plays of the day. Oral Roberts, plus 11 against the Razorbacks. And the Cuse getting 6.5, remarkably, against Houston. By the way, that Oregon State Chiefs dog of the day. You've got your marching orders. Let's take every single ticket. Don't forget about UFC 260 in your feed right now. All these tickets straight to the pay window. For M squared, for the Chief, for Zack Attack, for the jeweler who puts it all together. I am the coach. It's a beautiful Saturday. Sit back, enjoy it, and let's win a little green. Remember, the only place for your daily early edge. Good luck.